Hi. Hi, Sean. How are you? Just nice to see you again after our session last week.
Nice to see you too.
Okay. Before we get started, I just wanted to go over confidentiality, because it's been a while since we discussed that.
I
So,
know about HIPAA,
oh, good. Um, so I just wanted to
the
remind you.
Health Insurance Privacy and Portability Act.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you know about HIPAA. I still want to review it with you if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. Um, So I just a brief overview. So everything you're saying here is confidential. The only time it's not is if you were talking about harming yourself or someone else. The other time that I might have to break confidentiality would be if you were reporting abuse of a child, elderly person, or someone who is disabled. And then the other circumstance would be if um, I was subpoenaed to court or your records from here were subpoenaed to court. There are times when I can talk to people, but with that, I would need a release of information, and that would disclose who I can talk to and about what, and there's a duration, a period of time for the release. So I just wanted to let you know that if you do sign a release, you can rescind it at any time for any reason, and we don't talk to that person anymore. So, do you have any questions on that?
All right, I'm not signing that.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to.
Is there a Bible?
No, there's no
Okay,
Bible here. So,
I understand.
okay, sounds good. Um, so let's recap from last week. Last week we were talking about, you attending more Gamblers Anonymous meetings and trying to cut back on the amount of money and time you're spending at the casino. So how's that going for you?
Good. I only go to the casino 1 or 2 nights a week, but I haven't been able to attend as many meetings as I'd like because my busy work schedule.
So that must be kind of frustrating for you because I know that was something that you were really trying to increase, going more than twice a week.
Oh, to the Gamblers Anonymous meetings? Yeah, I mean, I don't feel particularly frustrated with it because I've reduced the habit by myself. So talking about it with other gamblers doesn't seem to really be helping me. Um, but, you know, other people in my life would like me to go more often. So I'm going to try to adjust my work schedule to do that.
Okay. So what kind of who in your life is encouraging you to go more often?
Uh, my family encourages me to go. Some of my close coworkers, my girlfriend encourages me to go. Yeah, I go when I can.
Okay. Sounds like you have a lot of encouragement.
Yeah, I'm a pretty encouraged guy.
Yeah, that's good. All right then. Do you feel as though you derive any benefit from Gamblers Anonymous?
It's just a lot of people talking about their feelings. It's not really my spot. I like to gamble every once in a while. Um, place a few bets on sports. Uh, it's fun.
Okay. A little while ago you had said that you were working on decreasing the amount you've been successful in slowly
Yes, I have.
decreasing it.
Yes.
How does that feel?
Good. It feels like I'm not really dependent on gambling anymore, and it's moving into more of my life as not a dependency, but maybe a hobby or something fun to do every once in a while. Eventually, I'd like to get down to gambling, once or twice a month instead of once or twice a week. Um, Maybe even every so often. I feel like the average gambler maybe gambles once or twice a year on a visit to a casino. Um, that's where I'd like to be with that.
Okay, so it sounds like you're not ready to give it up just yet, but you do want to decrease it.
Yes, I want to further decrease it, sure.
Okay. Um, when we first started meeting, I remember you were telling me that there were times when you were spending most, if not all, of your paycheck, and you were having a lot of financial difficulties because of it. Um,
That's been alleviated with my reduction in gambling. I'm not spending most of my paycheck on gambling anymore. spending a minimal amount. In fact, I've created a budget for gambling. I budgeted gambling.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
I budget $200 a week for gambling, and I don't go over it. Now that doesn't count if I win.
Okay.
So if I win, I get to gamble my winnings too from the 200. You see?
Oh, I see.
Mhm.
So if you win, you gamble the extra money that
That's
you
right.
win.
I
Okay.
continue to gamble with it till I'm out.
Okay.
But I don't get more money for my initial weekly allowance.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that?
Gambling?
No,
my weekly allowance?
yes.
Since our last session.
Oh, okay. So far so good.
So far so good.
Okay. Have you won any money?
Yeah, I win all the time. I'm a gambler.
Okay. So when you win the extra money, you gamble it all away, right?
No, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose.
Okay.
That's gambling.
Okay. But with the extra money you earn, you said you continue to gamble it, right?
Correct. Sometimes I carry it over to the next week. Sometimes I don't.
Oh,
When I lose it.
And sometimes you spend it all.
Sometimes I spend it on other things at the casino.
Okay. So I know the reason why I was asking those
Maybe
questions.
like a luxury item, like I'll win and I'll go to Brookstone and get myself a massaging chair or a new TV. Sometimes I win big.
Oh, nice.
Stereo, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason why I was asking that was because, when we first started meeting, I know you felt a lot of guilt and shame around your gambling. So I just wanted to check in and see if you still experience those feelings.
Yeah, I think when I gamble, sometimes I do feel a little bit of shame that I'm still doing it. But I feel better about it now that I'm not doing it as often and it's not impacting my life as much.
Well, that's really
So
good.
I feel less shame than I did before. Is that normal?
I would say so. I mean, everyone's experienced gambling and, cutting back on it and recovering from it is different.
Do you mind if I grab a drink of water?
No, not at
I'm a
all.
little parched. Thanks.
Okay. So, all right then. So how has your gambling affected your relationship with others recently? I know it was more of a problem in the beginning.
Well, I'm spending less time doing it, so I'm spending more time with other people in my life.
Okay.
More time at work, more time with friends, family, loved ones. So I feel like before it was a lot of time was spent doing it. So now I have an increased availability of time with other people.
Okay. I know that in the beginning, especially during our last session, we talked a little bit about how your girlfriend was adamantly against you gambling at all. Have you spoken to her about your new system yet?
I mean, we've talked about it. I think she thinks it's a step in the right direction, but I think she would prefer that I didn't gamble at all ever again. It's very black and white with her, not a lot of gray area. So, I mean, that's that. I mean, I feel like I'm moving in the most direction I can move at this time, like with that issue. So, I don't really know what more there is to, discuss with her, only that, I'm working towards a goal.
Okay. And how does it feel that she feels differently about your, the new way that you're managing your gambling?
Well, she feels differently about everything than I do. I mean,
Well, how do you deal with that though?
deal with what?
Her feeling differently.
I just accept that she's going to feel differently, and then just realize she's a different person than I am, and our logic won't always match.
Okay. So, has there been any recent arguments? Because I know that's come up before.
I mean, not any more than usual, but our arguments are just the mundane things, not necessarily related to my gambling, just related to my, everyday nature. Don't do the dishes. Sometimes I don't vacuum. I forget to throw a load of laundry in. Just the usual stuff that doesn't, that just comes up in a domestic partnership.
Okay. All right then. I know that before you had mentioned that your boss kind of caught wind of, your gambling habits, because he would see you after hours gambling. Has that come up as an issue recently?
No, not at all. My boss is my boss, and I have a relationship with him as it pertains to work. He did mention it to me, but my problem has never impacted my work, although I was afraid it might if I didn't take some action.
Okay. All right then. Um, is there anything further you wanted to discuss while we're here?
Not really. I feel like this has been very productive, and I'm going to continue to move in the right path. Um, I will be adjusting my schedule so I can go to more Gamblers Anonymous meetings. I have a pretty solid plan of where I want to be. Um, Thanks for setting me on the right track.
No, absolutely. I'm glad I could help.
No problem.
I know we were meeting weekly. Are you still feeling as though that would be helpful at this time?
I mean, what do you usually do? Like, do we need to increase or decrease or?
Well, that's up to you. I mean, this is your treatment. It's about you. Right now, I think the weekly is working, but you're also making progress. So I just wanted to check in with you.
So we should stay with weekly?
Yeah, we can continue to do that. I think that's a good idea as long as you're comfortable with it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, weekly's good for me.
Okay, so let's keep doing that. If at any point in time you feel it's too much or not enough, you can certainly let me know. We can increase your visits to twice a week, or we can decrease them too.
Nope, weekly's good for
Okay.
me.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you on that. So that sounds good.
All right,
All
sounds
right.
great.
All right.
So are we done for the day?
Oh, yeah. So it's been about 45 minutes. So unless you have any
45 minutes? Time really flies when you're having fun, huh?
yeah, absolutely. Unless there's anything else you would like to discuss.
No.
Okay. All right then. Well, I'll see you next week.
All right, we'll see you next
All
week.
right.
Have a
Thank you.
great day.
You too. Bye.